Welcome back, everyone. Toy Shiz here, and we are back yet again for a little something different. When this figure was revealed, announced, I went, now that is a really cool looking figure. And it's been a while, but lo and behold, it finally arrived from Entertainment Earth, and I could not be more stoked. This is Red Sonja, the She-Devil with a Sword by Boss Fight Studios. And she just looks fantastic. Lots of parts and pieces compatible with their Epic Hacks line, which are sold separately. It includes one of 3 collectible inserts, of which mine is the top piece of artwork right there. The back side of the packaging has a lot going on, but it tells you exactly what's inside the box, which is always nice. It even offers a really nice bio for Red Sonja. And like I said, 30 pieces in the box. You can really, we'll say, customize the look that you want and are going for Red Sonja. Here's everyone involved with the creation of this figure, so thank you very much for that. Here's the barcode. You can follow them on the socials, all that jazz, but mine came in from Entertainment Earth, of which I will put a link down in the description below if you would like to pick one of these up for yourself. The Red Sonja we're going to be looking at today is a 6-inch 1/12 scale figure. It will run you about $54 because, well, prices have gone up, as we all probably know at this point. She has started to ship out now, even though it says pre-order. But again, I'll put the link down in the description below. Perhaps you want to wait till it officially says in stock, because if you use the code EARTH10, which is the code going forward because of, well, everything going on with the world at the moment, that will give you 10% off. So if you want to wait, no problemos there. There is even a 1/18 scale for those of you that want to go a little bit teeny tinier. You got the basic same accessories and whatnot, but the 6-inch scale definitely has a lot more in the box. But we'll take a look at this figure at least, and you can make up a decision for yourself. So sit back, relax, grab yourself a nice hot cup of coffee. This is a look at the brand new Red Sonja 6-inch 1/12 scale action figure from Boss Fight Studios. So now here's everything taken out of the packaging, and as you can clearly see, yeah, there is a lot in the box. You even get a little stand for Red Sonja. But the best part is that every single parts and piece included allows you to customize and achieve the various looks that Red Sonja has had throughout her comics history, which there is one look in particular that I'm definitely going for, and yeah, you can definitely do that. First and foremost, you get a ton of extra hands, open hands, weapon-holding hands, fisted hands, every hand you'll need for Red Sonja. Now, every little parts and piece allows you to hold weapons. Everything really just works well in terms of the accessories. You even get alternate looks for the straps around her legs. You can do that. You have alternate, we'll say, shoulder armor parts and pieces, which does peg into her back. All of it's really nicely painted. There's really no problemos with any of the accessories, if I'm being honest. The weapons are cool, like this big old battle axe. You got some silver, you got black wraps, and then you got a brown base handle. So yeah, that totally works as well. The nice part about it, like I said, is that there's plenty of weapon storage. So for this belt right here, you can use it to hold the giant battle axe, and it really doesn't hinder her in the articulation. You also get alternate looks for her glove cuffs, which, that's really cool. I tell you, it's the little things, but it means a lot to someone like me. You even get an alternate chainmail bikini with little ribbons and things. And you see the hole right there on the strap, which you can then plug in her sheath for her sword. And there you go. You got everything looking cool. The chainmail has a nice wash to it. You also get a number of extra head portraits. This one is more of her battle cry. She has that really cool red hair, little bit of a wash to it. The teeth, the eyes, the cheeks, everything looks really nice, really nicely painted. Although, keep in mind, when you're taking photos, the glare of the paint will kind of make the teeth look a little weird. I don't know why it is on mine, but it totally is. This one is a little bit of an alternate take with the earrings. So you have ones with earrings, one without. Again, different variations of Red Sonja throughout the years. With all the customizable ability with this figure, I do wish you could remove the heads from the various hairs. Although, as you can clearly see, the hair on both of these head portraits are exactly the same. So not much achieved in that sense, but for the other head portrait, that would have been really cool because as you can clearly see, that is a really cool looking Red Sonja. And what immediately strikes me is that Boss Fight Studios has definitely done their homework. From every conceivable look that you could imagine for Red Sonja, yeah, they definitely have you covered. And that's what's really cool. Even down to the head portraits. You want her with earrings, you want her without. Again, I just wish you could swap out the heads with the various looks for the hair. But tried and true, I will tell you this. All the various armor pieces, all the attachments, everything you want to use to really soup up your Red Sonja, that's kind of where the frustration of this figure comes into place, because every little piece from, let's say, the shoulder pad armor, which plugs into her back when you go to move the hair is going to knock into that. That's going to knock into any number of the bracelets on her biceps or on her thighs. Then you're going to activate the chainmail. So I'll tell you, while it's a beautiful, very fun figure from afar, it's incredibly frustrating to move this character around without everything going to pieces in more ways than one. However, that's part of the sacrifice for having such an all-in-one figure for Red Sonja. When you move her for the articulation, it's pretty solid, I have to say. Yeah, you're gonna knock into every conceivable piece, just like I said, but nothing is hindered except for, let's say, the hair. And on a female figure, that's usually the number one complaint. You have double jointed elbows, double jointed knees, the gloves, the hands, everything moves in that sense. You can get her arms all the way up. You can move the biceps. You can just really achieve all those Red Sonja poses that you really want to go for. You have a great ab crunch in the middle. You have waist swivel. That really works. But keep in mind, you will run into problems like this where she will literally come apart. And that is, again, how you swap out the various parts and pieces on her. So it's not something that's going to break, but you will run into that from time to time. I definitely did. Is it a deal breaker? Only if you don't want to have to deal with something like that. But again, that's part of having all this customizable ability. Even down to the belts, where you can plug in the sheath to her sword. The sheath and sword are perfection. They really look good. From the paint to the ability just to plug it into her various belts that you can put on the figure. Heck yeah, that's what I want to see. So sheath or no sheath, depending on the look for Red Sonja, you can definitely achieve that look. Even down to the chainmail bikini, like I said, you're constantly going to be fussing with it. Just FYI. It totally works. It looks good. It's authentic to the character in more ways than one, we'll just say. Even down to the sheath that's on her leg. That will constantly fall. That's the other thing. The sword comes out of the sheath. You can have it with the sheath, without. You get multiple bands to choose from. Double jointed knees, the feet will rock up, down, left, right. She does have peg holes on the bottom, but with the removable bands and such, it's very reminiscent of the old Marvel Legends X-Men Cyclops. It is frustrating. There's no way to really say it otherwise, but like I said, the chainmail bikini, very accurate. It's basically an all-nude figure, just FYI, and you put on the various parts and pieces that you want. So for some of you out there, this might also be a dream figure in more ways than one as well. The legs have a lot of mobility. You can get her kicking up all the way. That's nice to see. I'll show you, you can even have her riding a horse. You can put her into a flight stand. So the articulation is sound. There's nothing loose, nothing comes apart unless you want it to come apart. And that, again, aids you in swapping out all the various parts and pieces. So through and through, if you can deal with the, we'll say, jankiness of the figure in that sense, yeah, she'll definitely work for you. When you are swapping all the armor pieces, yes, she comes apart in various ways, from the torso to the arms to the head. Everything is removable. That's sort of the style that Boss Fight Studios enables with all their figures, and it's definitely to your benefit. Even down to the boots and the feet. Sure, she could have come with some alternate feet. That would have been kind of cool, but you can remove the boots if you'd like. But that's where you can really go to town with armoring her up. Whatever look you want to go for, whatever piece you want to leave off or put on, it really works. Nothing gets hindered until you start to move her around. So just keep that in mind. But that's part of the fun for this figure. For me, all the various swords, the battle axe, the knives, she has weapon storage for days. The stand will help keep her aloft if you want to put her into various poses as well. But for me, just kind of having her with the sword, no sheath, kind of works a little bit better. Battle axe in hand, heck yeah, that is a really cool looking figure. And I'm even more stoked, as you'll soon see, because of the figures I wanted this figure to go with. So yeah, that's coming up, not to worry at all. Like I said, get her a flight stand, sword in hand, battle axe in the other, all the various ribbons that are off her belt. Heck yeah, that is very cool. I totally dig that. But just in a stationary position, you just want to have her for your desk. She's got the battle cry face going. Heck yeah, I love this. This is fun. So the fun definitely overtakes the whole constantly have to jostle around the various parts and pieces. Just FYI, but she does stand very proudly. Now, for me personally, as someone who read this issue years and years ago, and I saw Red Sonja, I go, oh man, I got to get the Spider-Man team up going. And that is where this particular look is definitely achieved. She has the right sheath on the right side of the leg, sword in hand. You can also just do it for the standard Marvel look if you'd like, but I'm going specifically for the Marvel team up with Spider-Man. And I also like that she can hold the sword with both hands, no problemo. And as I'll reiterate, Boss Fight Studio really looked at the artwork, and that's what I love to see, is attention to detail for the source material. So yeah, again, flight stand her up. It'll totally be worth it. Now, for those of you unfamiliar with the story, basically Mary Jane becomes Red Sonja for the issue. Just FYI. Spider-Man, Peter Parker definitely has a type. But that, again, is where you can have some fun if you have any of the various Mary Jane action figures from Hasbro's Marvel Legends line. This particular Red Sonja will be a little bit taller, as I perceive her to be. So I think she's right on the money in terms of the height. For those of you asking and wondering, no, you can't swap the head portraits. They just look all kinds of ridiculous and the skin tones won't match. But again, to venture back into that old comic book of the Spider-Man Red Sonja team up, heck yes, this is what I wanted this figure for. This looks so good. You can have them teaming up, battle against that evil magician, and that's really all I'm asking for. The look is achieved. Who knows if Marvel Legends will ever get to a character like Red Sonja, and they've definitely gotten into some obscure characters, so it may happen eventually. Even down to the Dynamite Comics Spider-Man Red Sonja team up with Marvel. You can have Red Sonja, Venom, Spider-Man all together on your shelf. Heck yeah. See, that's where the fun of this really lends itself. From Jada Toys with their Street Fighter line with Marvel Legends, Marvel vs. Capcom, to now Boss Fight Studio with Red Sonja and this team up. When you have other characters on your shelf, demons, monsters, the sky is the limit. You can have all kinds of creatures going after Red Sonja, and it will work. And this in particular for Spawn, Medieval Spawn, all of that will definitely work well for her to do battle against. And looking at her height with other various lines like McFarlane Toys and NECA Toys, yeah, you can definitely have her. I think she fits well across the board between 6 and 7 inch scale action figures. You can even line her up to a degree with Super 7 for Mars attacks. Although I will say this, because they're more in that 7-inch scale, they are a little bit too tall, we'll say, for a character like Red Sonja, but it still looks good on your shelf. Anytime you get to team up these two is fun. Even down to the loose collector Vampirella figure. These look great together as well. If you're a collector that really likes some hot babes on your shelf, hey, look no further. You can definitely have these two fighting it out, teaming up, doing whatever you want to do on your shelf. And just before we go, because I think a lot of you are going to have this question of, well, what exactly does this look like in terms of all the armor removed? Well, you perverts, you can freeze frame it if you like. So that's going to wrap it up for my quick look at the brand new Boss Fight Studio 1/12 6-inch scale Red Sonja. If you have a McFarlane horse, like I definitely do, she will definitely go with that as well. The sky is really the limit with this figure. Like I said, if you can make do with all the jankiness of all the armor constantly moving around, then this figure is definitely for you. If you're a Marvel Comics fan of the old type variety, this figure is definitely for you. If you've never heard of Red Sonja and just want a hot babe on your shelf, this figure is definitely for you. So you've heard my thoughts, and now I'm curious to know yours. Comment below, let me know. Let's talk everything Red Sonja. And until the next one, I will leave you guys with that. Adios.